Friends, welcome back. In this session, we are going to continue with JavaScript content. I have already discussed the fundamentals of JavaScript. I told you how do we really start with a script, what is an immediate scripting, what is deferred scripting execution, necessity to go for scripting. All these fundamental questions I have already answered in my previous session, and in this session I am going to talk a little more on the lexical structure and the variables usage in JavaScript. It's going to be interesting and it's going to be very fundamental as well. See, JavaScript is again object based, and most importantly, it is going to be action oriented. What do you mean by that word action oriented? Very simple. In a web page, if you have a button or a checkbox, when you click that, it would trigger some action or some event. When I press that, this will happen. The programmer will determine what event has to occur after the button press, after the checkbox ticking. All these things are called as action oriented stuff. So whenever we have JavaScript, we can understand that it is always oriented towards triggering some action or some event. When some of these events occur, for example, when I click a button, it will go ahead and call the corresponding piece of code, which is very important. There will be a JavaScript function, right? It is just like your C code, where when you call a function, it will go and call that corresponding function, right, based on the name. Here we have the same thing, but when you run a code, when you click a checkbox, when you click a button once, it will call the corresponding piece of JavaScript function. That's it. And another point that you need to understand here is JavaScript is very much case sensitive. INDAA capital letters is not same as INDAA small letters. It is you can mostly correlate it with C programming because it is fundamentally based on C language fundamentally. So whatever rules and regulations we have learnt in C programming will all go easily hand in hand with JavaScript as well. And the most important point, the semicolon is what is ending a JavaScript statement. So when you have to end a statement, you need to use a semicolon. And above all these, how to comment a particular content if you want to. You can use the same C style commenting, double slash or a slash followed by a star, dot dot dot, star, slash. This is the traditional method that we follow in C programming. It is also supported in JavaScript. So please understand, JavaScript is all case sensitive. Case sensitive feature should be remembered when you are naming the variables and when you are using the variables at an appropriate place. It's very important. Now let's go into the variables side of it. It's very important as well. When you want to declare a variable, you need to use the keyword var, where. When you want to declare a variable, you need to use var. But hold on, you need not declare a variable every time. JavaScript is brilliant enough. It is brilliant enough to understand that you have declared a variable. var is not required. You can use it directly without declaration as well. So var, when you use, there is some purpose when you use it within a function, which I am going to talk about it later. But understand that keyword var is going to be used for declaration of variables, but even then it is not mandatory. How do we name the variable, sir? It should start with a letter or with an underscore, and the variable can have digits. So it is mandatory that it should start with a letter, say ABCD, or it should start with an underscore. It is mandatory. There is no question why we need to do it. It is how we need to do it. And above all these, we are going to see about the data types in the next session. JavaScript does not support any sort of explicit data types. You do not have integer, float, something like that explicitly supported here. So the data type will be automatically decided based on the usage. So you need not worry about I am going to use an integer. Int a is what I need to declare. No, don't worry, you need not do that. It will automatically be done by your JavaScript. And the default scope is all global. Okay. The default scope is all global, but one point to remember is when you use the keyword where within a function, then the scope is getting restricted as local. Let's see an example here. It's very simple example that I have given here. Inside function, I'm using var inum1 equal to 10, inum2 equal to 20. Here I have used the keyword var. So this scope for inum1 is limited within this function demo, and it will not go out. It cannot go out. Inum2 equal to 20. This is now global. It is global to the entire document, which means the entire script. So we need not use where, if at all you want the scope to be global. If you want the scope to be limited within the function, in that case you will use where, which will restrict the scope within the function. Now let's see the same thing here. I am calling the function here demo inum1 equal to inum1 plus 1. Now what is inum1? Inum1 here, if you see, it is nothing but a variable which is local to the function. So I cannot access it here. It cannot be accessed here. Hence the scope is, it will result in an error since the scope is not global. Now come to the next one. Inum2 equal to inum2 plus 1. Inum2 has got a global scope, hence it can be accessed from anywhere in the document. So please remember, var is the one used to declare a variable, but it is not mandatory. It is proven here. I did not use var here, but within a function when you use var, it carries a different meaning, and it says that the scope is limited to the function. When you use a no var, which means var is not used within the function, the scope is actually global for the document. So please remember, and whenever you name a variable in JavaScript, it is mandatory that you need to start it with a letter or you need to use an underscore. Otherwise, it is not permitted. Also, it is case sensitive. Please remember all these points. And I've got some examples here where I underscore age equal to 27. I did not tell what type of data it is. So I need not also tell. So it will automatically understand that this is a number, and there is no need for you to specify that this is an integer. Where y comma z equal to double quote 20. Wherever you use double quote, it has to be regarded as a string. Same is the case with C programming, and we follow the same thing here. I have given you some examples here. There is no need that you are going to tell a data type which you are going to use. The variable type need not be mentioned. It is going to be very simple, and JavaScript is brilliant enough to understand that. The most important difference, the main difference between JavaScript and any other language is that it doesn't have any explicit data types. Please remember this point. This is an interview question. We do not have an integer or a string or a floating point or anything. Anything is not, it is not necessary for the programmer to break his head to mention really all this stuff. It's going to be not supported in JavaScript. You need not have any explicit data types mentioning here. It is intelligent enough to understand. So please understand, the naming convention is important. The variable names, how to name it is important. How to use variable var inside the function and outside the function is important. The scope is important. All this stuff will form the fundamental JavaScript code. Now, how to declare a local variable in JavaScript? How to declare a local variable in JavaScript? Declare using a keyword where. Is it true? False. Declare without a keyword where. Is it true? No. Declare using where keyword inside the function. Yes, this is what I told you, and this is the answer that I want you to remember. So we used where keyword inside the function, and that's how we need to declare it. Now declare using a keyword where outside the function. No, it is not called as local variable. Very simple. I'll meet you again with more inputs in my next session. I hope the sessions are useful. If you have any questions, suggestions, inputs, please go ahead and type it in the comment section. I would look forward to hearing from you. If you like the channel, please subscribe and share it with your friends as well. Thank you very much for following my channel. Thank you.